Love after 60. If a man greets you like this, he's crazy about you. Love psychology. Welcome to Wise Life After 60. So grateful to have you here. Most women don't realize this, but the first few seconds of how a man greets you can reveal more than an entire evening of conversation. His tone, his eyes, the way his shoulders relax, even how he says your name, it's all a window into what he truly feels. When a man is crazy about you, he doesn't just say hello, he lights up. There's a softness in his face, an urgency in his presence, as though he's been waiting for you all day, and now, finally, the room feels right. You see, men after 60 rarely waste energy pretending. They may not always speak their feelings directly, but their greetings, their first unfiltered moments, reveal everything. Before the charm, before the practiced words, the eyes already give the truth away. And that's what we're going to uncover together today. Because once you learn to read this hidden language, you'll never second-guess again whether his interest is real. You'll understand when it's only politeness and when it's pure affection. If you've ever wondered how to recognize authentic love in the simplest of gestures, I invite you to stay with me. Before we begin, I'd love for you to like this video and subscribe to Wise Life After 60, where we uncover the subtle signs in a man's behavior and explore how love after 60 reveals itself in the smallest, most powerful moments. Now, with that in mind, let's step into the very first signal hidden inside a man's greeting. His eyes, the windows, and the spotlight. Have you ever noticed how much a man's eyes reveal before he even says a word? When an older man truly cares, his gaze doesn't wander. It finds you immediately, locking on like you are the only person in the room. This isn't casual eye contact or polite acknowledgement. This is a quiet, powerful declaration that you matter. There's a subtle intensity in the way his eyes linger, a softness that hints at his curiosity and admiration, sometimes with the faintest hint of nervousness that makes him human and real. The eyes have a language all their own, one that speaks of emotional connection, desire, and attention without uttering a single word. When I watch men who are genuinely drawn to someone, I notice how different their gaze becomes. With strangers or acquaintances, the eye contact is brief, functional, and almost transactional. But with someone they care about, the look stretches, as if they are trying to memorize every detail, every nuance of your presence. It's in that moment you realize that what he sees in you matters to him, that you have already become the highlight of his mind, even before the conversation begins. The eyes often lead naturally into a smile that carries everything else with it, softening and warming the expression, telling a story of affection and joy that words could never fully capture. And right after the eyes comes the smile that gives everything away. But notice carefully, it's not just a smile. It's a signal of authenticity, the first gentle wave of his emotional truth. This first spark, the glance that holds a universe of unspoken attention, sets the tone for every interaction that follows. Once you start noticing it, you'll never see a greeting the same way again. And in the next moments, we'll explore how that light in his eyes blooms into a smile that speaks louder than anything he could ever say. His smile, emotion that outruns timing. Can you tell the difference between a polite smile and one that speaks from the heart? A man's smile can reveal what words never do. When he's genuinely attracted, his smile appears before he even has a chance to think about it. It's spontaneous, warm, and magnetic, and it's one of the clearest signs he loves you. Unlike a quick, polite smile to acquaintances, a genuine smile lights up his eyes, softens his features, and radiates emotional energy. This is the essence of male psychology and love. True feelings expressed subtly, yet unmistakably. I remember this one morning at my favorite little cafe. Mary, who's 64, had just come in for her usual coffee when she noticed Tom, someone she had seen a few times before. The moment he spotted her, his face changed. His eyes lit up, and a smile spread across his face before he even said a word. It wasn't one of those polite, quick smiles you give someone in passing. This one lingered, soft and warm, reaching all the way to his eyes. He even leaned a tiny bit forward, just enough to close the space between them without saying anything. Mary felt it instantly. The room seemed brighter somehow, like he had been waiting for her all morning. She realized he wasn't just being friendly, he was genuinely happy to see her, captivated by her presence. That's the kind of sign older men give when they're truly drawn to someone, when a greeting isn't just a greeting, but a small window into their heart. Notice how a genuine smile differs. It lasts longer, reaches the eyes, and often comes with tiny, unconscious gestures like fiddling with a cuff or brushing hair aside, an unspoken display of admiration. These are also true love signs that indicate a man values connection over casual social niceties. Understanding this can help you see the difference between surface-level attraction and deeper emotional engagement. If this speaks to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever noticed a smile that made you feel completely seen, like the room lit up just for you? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might encourage someone else to discover the subtle ways men show they're truly captivated, and help women recognize emotional connection in love after 60. And while his smile speaks volumes, there's another hidden signal in the way he carries his body that you'll notice if you pay attention. His body leaning in and present. One of the clearest ways to read a man is not through his words, but through his body, because the body does not lie. He can rehearse what to say, but the way his posture shifts is instinctive and unfiltered. When he greets you, pay attention to where his body leans. That small tilt forward says everything about his attraction and comfort level. If he leans in, even just a little, it is his subconscious admitting, "I want to be closer to you." It is like a magnetic pull he cannot control. This might show up subtly. His shoulders angling toward you, his torso shifting, or even stepping just half a foot closer without realizing it. Leaning in is one of the strongest nonverbal signals of genuine interest. By contrast, a man who stays back, with feet turned away, body angled outward, or leaning back, is not invested. That is neutral, polite, maybe even hesitant. But when he truly likes you, his body betrays him. He forgets about personal space and instinctively closes the gap. It's not necessarily about touching you. The real sign is direction. If his entire presence tilts toward you, that lean is a silent confession of attraction. When we're around people we do not care for, we cross our arms, turn away, or create space. Around people we're excited about, everything opens up. We face them directly, tilt forward, and lean in because our body is just as eager as our heart. When he leans in during a greeting, it's more than physical closeness. It's emotional closeness. It's his body saying, "I feel safe with you. I want to be near you." So next time, don't just listen to his hello. Watch how his body moves. If he leans in like you're the center of his gravity, that's attraction he cannot hide.
His tone. The voice betrays the heart. Some things a man can't hide are in the subtle rise and fall of his voice. When a man is genuinely drawn to you, his tone changes almost instinctively. It might soften, becoming warmer and more inviting, or rise slightly to signal excitement and focus. Sometimes he will lower it, creating intimacy, or linger just a fraction too long on your name. These shifts aren't calculated. They're an unconscious reflection of his feelings, a natural emotional carrier that gives away what words might try to mask. My friend Robert, 63, was meeting Joan for their usual coffee catch-up. The moment he saw her, his voice changed in a way you could almost feel. Normally calm and even, it became warmer, softer, like he was savoring just saying her name. Joan noticed how he hesitated for a split second here and there, how the tone lingered just a little longer, almost like it was reluctant to end. He leaned in slightly as he spoke, subtle but noticeable, completely engaged in the conversation. It wasn't rehearsed, it wasn't fake. His voice carried exactly what his heart was feeling. Genuine excitement, deep interest, and a happiness that showed before a single word of "I like you" was spoken. Tone is often overlooked, yet it's one of the most telling men in love signs. Unlike neutral or socially polite greetings, an emotionally charged voice gives you a direct glimpse into his inner world. It communicates urgency, priority, and the kind of attention reserved for someone who truly matters. So pay attention to the way his voice rises, softens, or stretches when he's near you. These small auditory cues show more than words ever could. They are living proof of the connection he feels. Notice it, embrace it, and reflect on how these tones align with his overall presence. Together, they paint a vivid picture of genuine interest. If this resonates, share in the comments how a man's voice has revealed his feelings to you. It might help someone else recognize the subtle signs they've been missing. His energy. Greeting like you're the highlight of his day. When you walk into a room and he sees you, something changes immediately. It's not just a polite acknowledgement or a casual glance. It's as if the entire atmosphere bends toward you. His face lights up, a natural brightness spreading across his features. His voice carries a liveliness that wasn't there before. And even the way he shifts his posture, the slight forward lean, the openness of his chest, it all signals one truth. You are the highlight of his day. This energy is instinctive, impossible to fully mask or fake for long. Unlike a social greeting that is quick, flat, and neutral, his presence transforms ordinary moments into something charged, warm, and inviting. It's in these subtle cues that you see emotional priority revealed. You are not just being noticed, you are being celebrated. In the psychology of love, energy and emotional presence speak louder than words. A man who truly cares channels his attention unconsciously, and his body, voice, and expression all become extensions of that inner focus. You feel it immediately, even before a sentence is exchanged. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Here, his energy carries the unmistakable hue of admiration, interest, and heartfelt attention. Every small movement, every shift in tone, every spark in his eyes is a reflection of how deeply he values this connection. And finally, notice not just how he starts the greeting, but how he ends it. The lingering warmth, the subtle reluctance to let go, the sense that the moment could stretch on indefinitely. These are the unspoken markers of someone who is truly captivated. When energy aligns with intention, it tells a story that words alone could never convey. The linger. Holding on a little longer. I remember my neighbor Susan telling me about her friend Tom. Every Saturday at the community gardening club, when Susan came to water the plants, Tom would greet her in a way that felt different. He didn't just wave and move on. Instead, he'd shake her hand a little longer than usual, or when they exchanged a hug, it seemed to pause just enough for Susan to feel that he genuinely wanted to be there. And his eyes, he didn't quickly look away. Even as she stepped back, his gaze lingered, warm and attentive. It was subtle, easy to miss if you weren't paying attention, but Susan immediately noticed she wasn't just being seen, she was being valued. This is what the linger really means. A man who's truly drawn to you won't rush a goodbye. His body, his hands, his eyes, they all extend the moment. Not because he's thinking about it, but because he feels it. Compare that to a casual greeting where everything is sharp, fast, and polite. The difference is clear. The linger is a tiny, quiet way of saying, I don't want this to end. It's not a grand gesture or a line from a romance movie. It's the small, almost imperceptible moments that reveal authentic emotion. A fleeting touch held a heartbeat longer, a gaze that stays just a second more, a body that doesn't pull away. These moments create an unspoken connection that says more than words ever could. As Plato wrote, "At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet." In the same way, a lingering greeting is a tiny poem of presence, desire, and genuine attention.
By now, you've seen how much a simple greeting can reveal. From the way his eyes lock on yours, to the warmth of a smile that reaches every line of his face, to the subtle lean of his body toward you, these are not random gestures. They are the quiet markers of genuine interest. The tone of his voice carries the emotions he might never voice, and the energy he radiates transforms a simple hello into a moment of celebration. Finally, the linger, the small hesitation before parting, reveals a heart that wants to stay just a little longer, that values presence over politeness and connection over convenience. Love after 60 is less about grand declarations and more about these unspoken cues. Men at this stage have learned the cost of pretense. Their attention is deliberate, their gestures intentional, and their feelings often unmistakably true. The truth is, when someone makes you the highlight of their day, when their tone softens, their gaze lingers, and their presence unfolds around you like a quiet celebration, you are seeing the heart in action. So, next time a man greets you, pause. Notice the details, the eyes, the smile, the lean, the tone, the energy, and the linger. Each small signal is a thread weaving a story of attraction, care, and emotional investment. As Rumi wrote, the heart is a 1,000-stringed instrument that can only be tuned with love. In these subtle moments, you witness that tuning, an authentic resonance that words alone could never convey. Thank you for sharing these moments with me. If these insights helped you see the subtle ways love shows itself after 60, I invite you to like this video, share it with someone who might need to notice these signs, and become part of our Wise Life After 60 family by subscribing.